We're gonna clown around. Clown-based life forms.
Coming to you live from the clown minds of Zebulon 5. It is another episode of Clown-Based Lifeforms, including me, clown extraordinaire, Newsfist, and my co-host, the clowniest assistant. He has been given special dispensation to take a day off from the clown minds, where he was blasting his way into a new vein of clowntonium, which we refine on the factories of Zebulon 5 into a highly potent, neurotoxic, and very, very delicious clown-based substance that is highly illegal, but also very, very profitable. How you doing, Aaron?
Oh, thank you for giving me the day off, boss.
You're welcome. You have served us.
I have some concerns about safety. There's like a weird gas that's being leaked down there, and
that gas is very good for you and is also extremely profitable. Shut up, slave. What is this word, safety? You know that is not part of the approved lexicon for mine workers. Your rations have now been cut. You will be getting less clown water this week.
Thank you, master. I know I've been bad.
Well, at least you have the right attitude. Yeah, see, like this is the kind of like right servile obedience, right, that you need from a fucking co-host.
That's right. That's right. I regularly whip my co-hosts just to keep them in line. I know how it is.
Oh yeah, mate. Look, co-hosts they're a rambunctious lot, right? You know, you let them get out of hand, right? Before you know it, they've got like they're trying to like unionize. You're demanding like a share of the super chats, right? Before you know it, they're gonna like overthrow you and instantiate some like kind of communist, like, you know, we can't have that, right? Like who would pay off the high interest loan that we had to take out in order to run this podcast?
So what you're saying is I should remove the Clown Lives Matter sticker from my bolt gun?
Clown Lives Matter. Fuck. who is oppressing the clowns in this scenario? Like,
listen, listen, honkies are people too.
I thought maybe it would be the tranny man jaws that are like oppress the quirk chungus. Yes. we must dismantle quirk chungus supremacy.
Yes, that's my other sticker.
we must let the clowns run free. They have their own culture, right? They have the right to determination. No, says the quirk chungus overseer. Can a clown not live by the sweat of his brow? No, says the quirk chungus in the government.
Would a quirk chungus ever say no, or they say something like, that's not in our policy?
Yeah, no, they'd say like, how can you even ask that? Oh my God. Like what, you know, never address the central point, just like pivot, right? And emotionally manipulate so that, you know, you never have to like answer like the central question. Oh, it's a sign of the age, man. This is a sign of the age. Speaking of the sign of the age, after our last episode that was like 100% Soylent segue, right? That was a long segue, right? But like, look, the masses asked for it, right? And that's how we do, right? We serve slop at the slop canteen for the grateful masses, right? We are the bread and circuses, except unlike the Quirk Chungus version, there are actually bread and circuses, not bugs and I don't know, needles in your ball sack.
Yeah, the bread here, it may be ugly, but it's made with real flour and not bug protein. So.
Yeah, it's a nice sourdough. I do like a nice sourdough, right? I don't know what kind of bread degenerate you are. I did the whole keto thing for like ages. We did like carnivore for like years and stuff like that. I just can't do it anymore. the wife is like, we gotta keep doing it. I'm just like, I can't.
I must have pasta.
But the thing is, right? It's still a massive improvement to the way like I used to eat, right? Like I just used to like eat like whatever, like slop essentially, right? Now I do not like a nice sourdough. So that's what you get, ladies and gentlemen, right? You get a nice crispy sourdough, right, and some proper entertainment. No quirking chunguses. Creep not here. What's the Bohemian Grove thing that like? Creeping spiders come not here.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah. Quirking chunguses come not here. We'll make a Clownhemian Grove, right? For all of the listeners, right? Except, right, there'll be none of that like gay shit. Did you ever hear how Nixon described Bohemian Grove?
Of course.
Oh,
it's so good.
It's the most faggy thing I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
Nixon was a legend. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god! I just when I heard him like talking about that, it just made me think of like all these like billionaires, right? Like butt fucking each other. Like, oh, Sir Humphrey, I'm gonna get you those stock options.
Unbelievable.
Because of course, right, there would be lots of that shit in the Illuminati, right? I mean, not just because it's degenerate, but also it's a little mooish, right? Like you
always got to do the wrong things to reach enlightenment at the top of that old pyramid, I guess.
Oh, I mean,
you have to put things where God didn't intend them to go. That's what you got to do. Like,
yeah, the secret to like the 10, 15 years of Masonic enlightenment is like actually it's just antinomianism, right? You just got to like do all this like depraved stuff to get closer to God, and like if they said it to you off the jump, you'd be like, what the fuck is this? But of course, because they groom you gently into it, right? Now you're like, oh, I'm approaching the 33rd degree. What is the secret, Master? Oh, you got to marry a 9-year-old boy. Yes, I see the symbolism.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually, Gog and Magog and the 2 pillars, and like, yeah, I'll give you 2 pillars, you young lad. Like,
yeah. It turns out that the wealthy, stupid people who have a staff that butters their biscuits, so to speak. I know you want to say kippa, but
I do want to say butter their kippa.
Butters their kippa. It turns out that they're just a bunch of clods after all. They just have money. That's it.
Yeah, I think they might have fallen for the whole like you can I don't know, like you can increase intelligence through knowledge or enlightenment through knowledge. That hasn't been my experience, right? I've got to say, right? I've been on the earth for like a while now, and I've got to say, from what I have observed, right, the stupid stay stupid, right, and the idiots stay idiots, right, and you can put in front of them all the so-called like enlightened knowledge, right? I mean, look at what happened with COVID, right? Like that shit was obvious to me, right? Obvious psyop is fucking obvious. But so many people are like, oh my God, give me the psyop.
Uh-huh.
Ew. Like,
Yeah.
did you know where that psyop's been? What, you put that in your mouth? Ew.
Yeah, well, the not well intentioned, but overeducated idiot is a central theme in that hideous strength, and so is
really gotta read that.
scientism. You've really got to read it,
Gotta read
and
it.
I can't go a show without mentioning it because I make money off of selling copies. I'm just kidding.
Oh, really?
No,
Oh,
I
that's-
don't. It's one of my favorite books. It's
Is it followed by, of course, his second favorite book, That Hideous Paycheck?
yes.
You could subscribe to my Patreon right now. I might be able to make rent.
Yeah, well, as long as you're not owning anything, we're entering a
Oh,
new
no.
enlightened world now where you're gonna own nothing and you'll be very, very happy. And if you dare to express that you're not happy, we're going to take away all the stuff that we've lent to you at a very, very reasonable interest rate, obviously.
I'm going back to the slop mines. At least it's honest down there.
It's just, slot mining is honest work, right? Look, you start the day, you go down the slot mines, right? You have a slop wall facing you, right? You mine those nuggets of slop, and then at the end of the day, you have a pile of slop that you have mined, right? There's no confusion, right? There's no, it's honest work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking
Yep.
of honest work, wait, how am I going to segue to that? Speaking, like, fuck it, right? I don't know.
The opposite of honest work is whatever the hell this is.
Thank
Bring it up.
you.
Quick. Yes. Good.
Thank you, Aaron. Oh,
Nailed
mate, fucking nailed it. We are
All right.
back at the conspiracy pyramid. Ooh.
Oh, wow. It's
Mate.
just as nasty as I remember.
We've been mining this shit for a while, right? Like this is the fucking final boss of the slop wall. Right?
I just imagine myself like that dude at the beginning of There Will Be Blood, just getting blown away by a giant explosion of oil.
Yeah.
That's what's just happened right here. We've struck
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah. I mean, mate, we really, really have. Wait, hang on, let me move this up. Yeah, the conspiracy part. We are past the antiseptic point of no return, right? By the way, wait, what's going on here? Hang on, wrong window. Is it even? Oh,
This
Well,
one's
that's-
even
that's
more
very,
different.
very gay. Okay, so what I was trying to do is if you it's basically it won't let me do that, right?
Oh, because this is the interactive one.
This is the interactive version. But if you
Okay.
look on the right side of the screen, right, you will see this like little splash, no doubt, like a little Photoshop asset, right?
Mm.
It says, "World ruled by supreme shadow elite promotes hatred and violence towards marginalized groups." I have a few questions about this, frankly.
I have a question about what that means. World ruled by supreme shadow elite promotes hatred and violence toward marginalized groups. Is it saying that the shadow elite promotes hatred and violence toward marginalized groups?
No, I think it's saying that the shadowy elite are a marginalized group.
Oh,
So they
Hang
rule,
on.
right, like the universe, right? They've got all the money, they've got all the fucking power, they have like all the influence, right? But really, because there's so few of them, right, they need to be a protected minority, and it's not fair
Well,
to
wait a
criticize.
second.
I mean, look, do you think you could be a shadowy elite, Aaron? Look at you sitting there in your clothes, right, with your hair, right?
Listen, I bought this hoodie at Walmart and I got this haircut at Cost Cutters, man. I would never be a shadow elite ever.
Yeah, like, exactly, right? Oh, wait,
I'm
wait,
broke.
my-
What's the
my-
word? What's the word for the stick with the picnic blanket over your shoulder? What's that called?
Bindle. It's called a
A
bindle.
bindle. Yes, my bindle is over my shoulder. I'm headed out the door.
So you can't. So you can't be a shadowy elite, Aaron. Like, I'm
Mm-mm.
sorry,
Nope.
right? You don't have the training, right? I don't. Have you even owned a child slave, right? Mate, you got no chance, right? Like you gotta. It's fucking horrible. I just, mate, you try to like make light of this like highly horrible and exploitive system, right? And every so often I make a joke and I'm like, oh, I've made myself feel sad now.
Well, that wasn't that bad. I mean, look at all these awful things we have here. Like, where did we leave off? We did
I
the Sahara?
believe we left off with the Hollow Earth, actually.
Oh, yes. That was so good.
Yeah, we're talking about Bulwer Lytton and stuff. So we now have the transgender, the New World Order, secret satanic rituals, cultural Marxism, George Soros. Mate, the fonts on this are like retarded. Like, I just like, do they like, what's the, and of course, right, over on the top right hand side is the final boss, Holy Denial, right? It's so okay. So hang on, shall we start with the trans agenda?
Sure.
Okay.
What do you think of when you see the two words trans agenda?
I don't know how I can make this funny, honestly. Right? I see confused white kids, right, destroyed by decades of psychological warfare, being preyed upon by like a predatory class of like weird psycho mooish feminists, right, convinced like not only not to breed and have kids, but to like literally cut their own like junk off. I mean, if you can make that funny, I don't know, mate. It's pretty. Yeah, that's what I think.
I think the problem that they have with it isn't the two words. I think the loaded word here is agenda. They want to pretend like this was all natural and that trans people, etc., this whole entire thing was like just hidden away because of like bigots or something. They take issue with the word agenda.
This is like sort of the elite in a nutshell. Oh, but look, I want to do like a little segue. Okay, right? So look, I think I sent you this book by Cudahy, right? What was it called? The
I'll pull it up. Hang on. It was a banger. I read the intro or not the intro.
Oh, I know, right? I read the intro. It was like, yeah, right. The Ordeal of Civility.
Yeah.
Freud, Marx, Levi Strauss, and the Mooish struggle with modernity. Now, I haven't gotten all the way through the introduction, right? But Cudahy's like sort of thesis, okay, is that when in so this would have been pre-World War I Germany, so under the Kaiser, right? So when Freud was around, basically like 1850. When was Freud around?
Oh, Freud was way later than 1850. Hang on a second.
Was he?
I'll look it up because I don't know either.
Because I thought Freud like predated World War I, right? Because Prussian society at the time
he was born in 1856.
Right. So
Okay.
he must have rose to prominence in like the late 1800s then, presumably. Yes.
Yeah, let me double check.
Right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So this would have been like, 1890. Remember we were talking about the 1890s?
Oh, right. Yeah.
That like totally weird decade, right? Where they
The time warp from Stargate. That's when everything went topsy-turvy.
They let all the moons into Germany, right? And nothing bad happened, right? And anyone who was like worried about it was just like a panicking, right?
Right.
So Cudahy is basically saying that what happened was that you got a lot of moves from from like Russia and stuff, like coming into Germany, right? And they were basically like terrible, right? Like they were very, very poorly socialized, and they would like, sort of annoy and in some cases like horrify the Protestant civilization around them, right? And that Freud and sort of, other Jewish intellectuals essentially like said like, oh, it's not because they're bad, right? It's because society made them this way, right? Society can like fix them. Right? Cudahy like really puts it like much, much better. He's a very, very good writer, this guy.
Right.
Yeah, here it is. In Freud's science, the social troubles of a modernizing Maori receive a self-enhancing cognitive gloss. Social malaise becomes a medical symptom. Offenses become defenses. Kvetches become hysterical complaints. Tsuris becomes basic anxiety. I think Tsuris is like a sort of like Weltanschauung, like anxiety, right? Social shame becomes moral guilt. Deviance becomes incapacity. Strangeness becomes alienation. to be badly behaved is to be mentally ill, right? And so he's basically arguing that, and this is what struck me when I was reading this, is that this is exactly the same framework that they applied to like America specifically, but the West generally, for all the migrants. And like when they behave badly, right? They don't say, oh, you're behaving badly. They're like, oh, like actually, like, it's just society, right? Like, they just, and now you see this kind of like stuff in, in England, where you like, you can literally, if you're the right skin color, you can get away with like literally murder or like other like horrific crimes. And they'll just be like, oh, no, they just haven't been properly socialized. So Cudahy like traces this back to Floyd. To Floyd.
Floyd.
Sorry, to Freud. George Freud.
That was a Floydian slip. That's what that was.
Shit. It turns out that Freud was also very, very into fentanyl.
Yeah, they didn't call him Fentanyl Freud for nothing.
So we are definitely going to do something on this, because this is like amazing, right?
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, so let's go to gender ideology. Right now, this is the article that's linked to it. I finally figured out how to like get access to the articles without paying, because I'm not fucking paying these people. You can fuck off with all that, right? Like, I already get propagandized enough. It's like, oh, it's not enough that we propagandize you. We must extract money from you. I hate the way like the modern world is like, we're not just gonna enslave you, we're gonna make you fucking pay for it, right? Like,
yeah.
If you're going to enslave us, could you at least like pay for it? Like, absolutely not. Do you know how much money that would cost? Yeah,
Right.
Far more efficient if we get you to pay for it. It's like, fucking can't even pay for my goddamn slavery.
You're lower than a slave. God. They don't even weigh you anymore. They're just like, yeah, that one's worthless. We'll call him a negative 3,000. Yeah.
It's like that meme that's been like doing the rounds of like the dude with like the fucking like breathing tube under his nose, a fat guy, and he's just like looking at you with these like wet eyes, right? And it's like, X doesn't even like try and explain anymore. They just like look at you like this. Like, they don't even like try and psyop you anymore, right? They just look at you like, you have to agree to the psyop. It'd be you're like, what are you, a bad poison?
yeah. It's not enough that you're already essentially a slave. It really is like, I know 1984 at the end where Winston's just like, he's like, I'll say anything you want, I'll do anything you want. He's like, no, you have to mean it, Winston.
Oh yeah,
or it's not as delicious for me.
Yeah, that's right. No, because right, there's a whole philosophical thing in 1984 about this, right? How if you're controlling someone, right, someone is your slave, how do you know if they really believe the bullshit you're like shoving into their mind, or if they're just pretending to believe it, right? Because this, of course, is the fear of any sort of like mental slave owner, right? Like, what if they're just pretending to go along, right?
So it's like, how do you know? It's very simple. Do they play guitar in Tel Aviv?
No, you need to get them to do something completely opposite to their own self-interest, right? Yes. And that's how you know. And I think that was a big component of the vax thing, right? Yes. Because everybody knew, right? Like, don't fucking come at me and say that like everyone was like, oh, this is going to make me feel better. Everybody fucking knew it was bad for you, right? Like, I did not see any, and even the fucking media weren't running with like stories like, oh, I took the COVID vaccine and now I can fucking like climb 200 flights of stairs and I've never fucking been like happier. Everybody knew that shit like made you ill. Right?
But they even had articles about how sick they got and how it's not that bad.
Yeah. Or the one I love most of all, where they're like, oh yeah, the COVID vaccine made me sick, but can you imagine how much worse it would have been if I got COVID? And then they got fucking COVID afterwards.
Satan is working his crazy tricks on this world, man.
Artie was talking about this, like, on the stream. Afterwards, we were trolling this other streamer. I feel a bit bad about it, actually, because it's not very like Christian, but it was really, really funny. And Artie was like, Do you think this is like how the Moos feel when they like just get like the goyim to like fall for some like entirely like retarded thing, and it's just like, yes, let's see what crazy shit we can get them to believe now.
Dude, did you ever see the movie Rat Race?
I did not. No.
It's another one. We were talking about like American Pie style movies. It's ridiculous. It has Rowan Atkinson in it, and he has narcolepsy. That's all I remember, except for one scene. So the story is there's a bunch of billionaires who get together and they really like betting. So they offer a bunch of people $1 million, and whoever can reach a certain location first gets it.
Right.
There's this one cutaway scene where they show the billionaires watching the race as these people run across the country. And they are not just placing bets on the race, they're placing bets on everything.
Yeah,
so
right.
like they're in a hotel room and there's like a maid and he's like, how much you want to bet I can get her to pull the curtain this way instead of that way when she's dusting? And like shit like that.
So
Dude.
it's like Poly Market, basically.
Yeah. They like playing with their food.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, that is the distinct sense actually that I got sort of like after COVID when everyone started getting all like uppity, right?
Yep.
And the response of the elites, right, struck me like, you know, like if your food starts talking back to you, right? Like
Right.
you sit down for a nice bowl of mac and cheese, right? And the mac and cheese is like, what the fuck are you doing? You're like, excuse me, you're my food. You don't talk back, right? Like your job is to be eaten, to create shareholder value, right? You don't fucking like talk back. Like, who the fuck do you think you are?
Yep.
Oh, man.
All right, what do we got here? Conspiracy theory about sex and gender?
He's being peddled around the world by the. We just can't help it but fucking do the segue, mate. Aren't we? We just fucking segue addicted. Yes. A conspiracy theory about sex and gender is being peddled around the world by the far right. Oh, not the far right. No, no. When is it? Oh my God, 2016. Right.
Jeez.
So this is like, would you call this like the pre-woke? Like 2016 was like,
Oh no. 2016 was when it was getting charged up.
Yeah. No, so when the first flush, like when you get ill and you get like the first fever.
I was gonna say it's like Pikachu in Super Smash when you just hold B. It's like Pika. It's hilarious. It makes it cuter to think about Pikachu instead of vampires.
Yeah. So language. We explore how language helps us make sense of a changing world. Oh, fuck off. Oh my God, I already hate this. Like I just I have been exposed to like so much of this shit by now, right? Like I could just tell, right? Like just the way they like start talking. I'm like, oh, by Anna Campoy, deputy editor of Global Finance and Economics. If she's the Global Finance and Economics editor, why the fuck is like she writing this? Right? Anyway, right. Let's not question too much, I guess. A new term has been creeping into the speech of conservatives around the world. In Mexico, thousands of protesters denounced the spread of gender ideology in marches against same-sex marriage this September. I don't know what they're worried about, right?
No, clearly it's only had benefits.
Exactly. Weeks earlier, religious groups in Colombia accused the government of wanting to indoctrinate children by teaching gender ideology in schools. Gender ideology in scare quotes, obviously. what even is gender ideology? How would you even define? Like they literally like launch this alien virus on people, right?
Yeah.
And then they're trying to figure out what it is. And like, hey, you can't even define what it is. It therefore doesn't exist. It's like, yeah, we know it exists. We can clearly see it. We just don't know precisely what to call it. Weeks later, they would accuse officials of injecting similar forms of treachery into an attempted peace deal to end the country's half-century civil war. I mean, what the fuck is that? How is that?
Hang on a second.
Okay,
is this a mistranslation? What's going on here?
Okay, so it leads to this YouTube video, right?
Oh.
Criado Santos Timoshenko es una imposición de ideología de género. Now, Timoshenko, is that like Yulia Timoshenko? Like didn't she like rule Ukraine? Okay, I've got no idea. See, of course, they like, right? They send you to a YouTube video, right? To frustrate
Spanish.
to frustrate podcasters like ourselves, right?
Unbelievable.
Activists in Spain. Sorry, I got to do the voice. Activists in Spain. Wait, or should I do the work voice? Activists in Spain and Poland have used the same phrase to combat efforts to recognize that gender identity and sexual orientation go beyond heterosexual men and women. In France, the idea has circulated under slightly different gender theory. Even Pope Francis raised the notion last month, urging priestly compassion for individuals grappling with their gender identity or sexual orientation, but, quote, rejecting, quote, the indoctrination of gender theory and its ideological colonization. Oh, God, this is giving me cancer.
Hold up. Before you get cancer, go back up a little bit.
Mate,
See,
it's coming on pretty quickly, right?
I know. We got chemo right here. I got it in a little can. I'll just fire it, over the ocean or whatever.
Fuck that shit straight into my brain. Right, sorry. What is it you wanted to like?
Okay, this is my bread and butter, all right?
Okay.
The way articles are written. So I just want to point a couple things out here because this is so scummy.
Mhm.
I'm gonna read it one more time. Activists
Please.
in Spain. What?
Please go for it.
Okay. Activists in Spain and Poland have used the same phrase to combat efforts to recognize that gender identity and sexual orientation go beyond heterosexual men and women. Now, it's written smooth, right? So it goes down your throat real good, like a good poison pill is supposed to do. But look at this. To combat efforts to recognize that gender identity and sexual... See, it's how do you even say this?
It's begging the assumption. I think
Yes.
right. Like
yes.
Yes. This is why I hate this kind of writing, and it's cancer. You saw it all through BLM. You saw it all through COVID. Right? It just assumes the precepts that it wishes to like ram down your throat. Right? And it's like, oh, it's. I mean, we all know, right, that efforts to recognize that gender identity and sexual orientation go beyond heterosexual men and women is like a fact. Right. I mean, we know this, right? We know the COVID vaccine is safe and effective. We know that Black Lives Matter, right? We know that we've got to like invade Iran, right? We know that like Slava Ukraine.
Right. The reason they get away with this so much is because society as a whole is too heterogeneous to have precepts.
Yes. Well,
except for ones that are just given to them.
Yeah, and because they fucking destroyed Christianity. To the point where even the goddamn Pope, right, like after Vatican II, right, they basically like owned the papacy. I feel sorry for the Catholics, man. Like every time like I talk to like a proper Catholic and I'm like, do you really believe what the Pope says? And they're like, oh yeah, I'm a Catholic. I'm just like, man, I couldn't. At least with Orthodoxy, right? Like you can subvert like one patriarch, right? But it's like Pokemon. You can't catch them all. There's always gonna be like at least one fucking patriarch out there being like, no. I still remember what John Chrysostom said about you guys. We're not doing that. Okay. Right. What is this seemingly ubiquitous ideology that has Catholics and other conservatives so nervous? What is it? Does it even exist? Right. According to them, it's a worldview concocted by lesbian academics and radical feminists that gender has nothing to do with biological differences and can be chosen at will. That is exactly what it is, though. Like, you just, mate, like, present like a completely accurate something. That's it's actually really complicated. They characterize it as a dangerous line of thought that threatens to infect children and destroy democracy.
Oh, God, not our democracy. Oh, God. What if somebody just didn't listen to the Demos fist?
Oh my God.
That would
I don't
be
know.
awful.
Imagine if that happened, mate. Right?
Jesus.
I mean, but the thing is, right, this is actually true. Like, because you see this like in the UK where like the government is basically now run by gay association networks. Right? Like there's I'm serious, right?
I know. I'm sorry. It's just so funny.
There are so many fags in government. Like it's insane, right? And I mean, I don't know whether you like how disreputable like your past is, right? But I used to do like the man whore polycule thing, you know, when I was like, you know, a degenerate, right? And one of the things about that kind of lifestyle is, although it is incredibly unstable and like, you know, all this kind of other stuff, you do build up like this network of people because you're just constantly like sleeping around, you know what I mean? And that basically seems to be how like a lot of Western governments are being run now, basically, right? It's
Dude,
like, you know,
wasn't there a story not that long ago of like a gay porno that was shot in Congress here?
oh yeah,
It was
yeah,
just swept up.
yeah.
Oh, it was
dude,
it was a one-time thing, I'm sure.
he was getting boot fooked in like one of the congressional chambers. Yeah. Like, it's total depravity, right? So it's making me start to like fucking agree with the Calvinists. Total depravity, mate.
Lord
That
have
would
mercy.
that would be a great like ending move for like Mortal Kombat or something like that.
Total depravity.
depravity. In fact, gender ideology is an invention of the right. Actually, it's a hodgepodge of disparate ideas developed by a diverse group of thinkers. Well, if they're diverse, doesn't that mean it's good? every so often, if you go back far enough, right, you can see words like before they like adopted their psyop meaning, right? Like they never use the word diverse to describe their enemies now, because we all know that diversity is our greatest strength, obviously. You know what I mean? By a diverse group of thinkers over the past 50 years, linked mainly in the minds of its opponents, okay? It doesn't really exist beyond its creators' manifestos and protest banners, but it's already helped them score some very real victories. Well, if it doesn't exist, then what's the problem? I guess they're not, like, you know.
It's so weird that they will push something so hard and then pretend that they're not doing it and that you're crazy. Like I know it's gaslighting, but like to do this to an entire population, you wonder why everyone's crazy around you. This is why.
Yeah, this is why. Because it has government by deception, right, and lack of consent has become effectively the default mode of Western governance, right? And seriously, I'm pretty sure that this started with the Moos, right? And they employed it very, very successfully among like Protestant and Catholic populations, right? Like high trust societies, essentially, right? And then once they sort of were incredibly successful with it, other groups started emulating it, and they're like, well, like, because this is the problem with allowing sort of sin and lies to sort of like spread, right? Like if you don't stamp that shit out, everybody else starts looking at these people who are incredibly successful, and they'll be like, well, how did you get successful, right? And they're like, well, we're going to do the same thing then, right? Gender phobia. The Catholic Church, boo, and other conservative groups have long had a problem with gender understood as the cultural layer of behaviors and traits that societies slather atop biological sex. Kill me. Oh my God. Yeah, and how's that worked out, right? This perspective challenges many of their notions about how humanity should be organized, modeled in the family values ascribed to them. If traditional roles of husband and wife, father and mother, man and women are merely social constructs, then other identities beyond those binaries become just as valid, injecting chaos into the order of things. What are they? Can you translate this, Aaron?
Can I translate this?
I don't even know what the fuck they're like saying.
So, I mean, to me, it looks. One thing that I noticed earlier was that they said lesbian academics and radical feminists. They always have these modifiers on these things, like and the words they choose are more emotive than they are actually. I don't know what the word would be, but slather.
No, I guess the framing that they'd be using, right, is like, well, just because an academic is a lesbian, right? Like, what, you think that like is a comment on the quality of their work? Yes.
Right.
Like,
they're daring you.
Absolutely, right. And I don't know, like maybe they're using the term like, academic as a shorthand for like moo, right? And of course, right, to suggest that might have anything on their academic output, of course, is ridiculous. I could never support that, except I totally do, right? I think they're just assuming the assumption here, right? Like, obviously, traditional roles of husband and wife have already been like undermined, right? So therefore, it becomes like just as valid. Here we go. Gender ideology is the straw man they invented to fight against this threat. Okay. Its origins can be traced back to 2 United Nations summits that addressed gender inequality and women's sexual and reproductive rights, the 1994 Conference on Population and Development in Cairo, and the Women's Conference in Beijing the following year. Oh, God, look at this. Oh, God, what is this?
Oh, man.
Oh,
man.
It's like the genesis of woke.
Oh, man. Hang on. Go back up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to see one more thing. I just need to check something. Let's see. Gender ideology, straw man, they invented. Okay, so I think maybe I'm wrong about this. I think the entire article is basically complaining that gender ideology exists because they're not using the right words.
Oh, fuck.
Is that it? They're like, let me define this thing.
I don't know. Oh my God, this article is really fucking long. We can't get through all of this, man. Like, not only will I get cancer, but we might spread cancer to our audience. We don't want
Let's
that.
not do that.
Wait. No, actually, right. Like, now that I think of it, right, you said you got like a clown-based cancer cure. Could we give our audience cancer, right, and then sell them the cure? Now look, I know you might at first think this is morally reprehensible, right? But think of all the money we could make, right? Like, like fuck podcasting for a LARP, right? Like, we could be the next fucking Moderna, right? We could give them the cancer and then sell them the cure, mate.
Dude, we could be like Bayer and own the food too.
And all we would need to do, right, is completely abandon any sense of moral probity.
and have a government that does shit all. Does nothing.
Seems like a small price to pay for money, right? I mean, like, money, right? Like, fucking,
listen, I'm when we're done with this, I'm walking down to the gas station. I'm gonna get a bag of pretzels, and that's more than I earned on donations this week. So I'm in the red.
Yeah, but you do it for the love of the game, mate. Right? That's what the real pros do. They do it for the love of the game. Look, don't worry, mate. Like, once you and I get like the live stream like happening, right? I get the channel monetized. We could actually we could get donations from our glorious listeners, right?
Every time we get one, I'm gonna be like, that's another hot pocket in the freezer. Thanks, everybody.
The man has many hot pockets in his freezers. I don't know if I can even continue reading this. Like, honestly, like
I know because and the reason it feels cancerous is because this can only spawn from a miasma of it's not toxic positivity. It's something like that where nobody ever says no. Nobody ever asks a question about what do you mean by that?
So they're basically complaining, right, that the Vatican in 2003 is like, well, actually, like, you're totally destroying the traditional family, right? And of course they're like, well, didn't you know, like, the traditional family is basically slavery, right? And like having kids is like really bad, actually. And everyone's like, you realize like you're like literally limiting people from like reproducing. Well, why would people do that? Yeah. I think there were certain groups who were like reproducing like much faster. I mean, it sounds like a conspiracy theory. Right. Fuck this. Okay.
Let's move on. Should we move on?
We are already 45 minutes in. We have done precisely one conspiracy theory. But there's going to be the heat death of the universe, right? We're still going to be like fucking working our way through this fucking conspiracy pyramid, mate.
It's how it works, man.
You're going to be like, welcome back to episode 3000 of our 2-part series.
You know what you sound like right now? You're like, oh God, all this gold, it's too much gold. It's too heavy. I don't want to carry all this goddamn gold back to my bank. Come on.
What am I going to do with all these hot pockets? My hot pocket runneth over. Right. But the thing is, right, the gold has been irradiated, so it's also giving you cancer at the same time. So, swings and roundabouts, Oh, fuck me. Okay. So we're back to, so we did the trans agenda, right? I think the New World Order is next.
We should just straight up play the clip of George Bush saying the New World Order.
The New World Order.
Yeah.
Howdy, Saudis. The first war of the 21st century. Fucking mate, I love George W. Bush's voice. I was like, because it's just, I made like ton of electronic music, like using like samples from his like voice, because it's just so, there's something like just so, it's like eerie and smooth at the same time. You know what I mean, right? Like a psycho killer, just like, like letting breaking in your flat. He's just like really charming, and then like totally stabs you up. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so the New World Order.
Oh
God.
This isn't the first. Is this the first time we've mentioned the people?
the people.
Because I mean, I thought we've been
which people could you possibly mean?
The antiseptic point of no return was like 5 episodes ago.
Turns out there's a lot of stuff beyond the antiseptic point of return, right?
Oh man, too much gold, Aaron. There's too much gold.
It's like you're stuck on this like tiny isthmus, right? Like out in the ocean, right? And there's like a whole like country there. They're like, oh no, you can't get off the small island isthmus, right? Like that's all of that is like past the antiseptic point of return. And you're like, yeah, but like there's like a whole country like out there. No.
We have continents and continents of antisepticism. It's just, you know what it's like? It's just like the conquest of Africa. Nobody else is doing it. Nobody else is using all this land.
Yep. The scramble for antiseptic Africa. The centuries-old history of Muish puppet master conspiracy theories. Yeah, okay, right. The alleged Pittsburgh synagogue shooter thought George Soros was controlling the world economy. Here is the antiseptic history of that far-right narrative. They always fucking do this, right? Like some unpleasantness happens, right? And they just like, the reason this happened is because of like a conspiracy theory, and therefore, right, like, we need like total censorship control. Oh yeah, see, they're already mentioning Gab, right? When is this from? 2018. Right? This is all from the before 4 times. None of this shit is like new, okay? The suspected. Do you want to read this? Do you want to read this bit, Aaron?
Yeah. The suspected killer of 11 Jewish people in a mass shooting at a Pittsburgh synagogue frequently posted snippets of his political ideology on far-right social networking sites like Gab. He posited that George Soros, the Jewish billionaire known for contributing to liberal causes, was secretly controlling the Honduran migrant caravan, a dwindling group of about 4,000 people heading on foot to the U.S.-Mexico border, blah, 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 to seek political refuge from instability and gang violence as part of a wider scheme to destabilize Western democracy.
Oh, yeah, and it is. It's highest. As you were reading, I bet it's highest. Literally the next paragraph.
Okay. Highest likes to bring invaders in that kill our people. The suspected gunman allegedly wrote on Gab hours before the attack, referring to a Jewish nonprofit that advocates for refugees before adding, I can't stand by and watch my people get slaughtered. Screw your optics. I'm going in. Clip that, Mossad.
Dude. Now, just for people who are not aware, right? HIAS is the Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, right? And I mean, the fact that this is in 2016 is quite sort of, well, actually, no, 2016 was like the start of the Trump thing, wasn't it? And then he got back in 2020, right? No. Wait. Am I getting my thing? When did Biden get in?
Oh, 2020?
2020. Okay.
No,
So
2021. I don't know.
Right. Well, okay. But I do know this. One of the reasons why the United States was subsumed by mass migration was that the migration czar under the Biden government was this guy, Alexander Mayorkas, right? You remember him, right?
Oh, yes.
You know what Mayorkas used to do before he worked for the Biden administration?
He
He was the head of the Hebrew Immigration Aid Society.
Yes, that's right.
Yep. So, I mean, clearly, I mean, look, we're not advocating for violence, but like, oh God. Okay. Jesus.
I know, it's hard to read this.
Oh
It's
my God.
So they're after. So this is becoming about George Soros, though.
Well, I think I think this is one of these articles. It was going around like a lot, right? Like now the problem has become too large to ignore. Okay, right? I've had this theory for a while that they don't really expect people to believe this crap, although a lot of them do, right? The whole goal is just to buy time to do whatever horrible thing it is that they're like trying to do, right? And thus articles like this are essentially a sort of a form of cognitive warfare, right? Like the idea is just to stop you from thinking clearly about the thing, right? So
Yes.
if you were thinking clearly, right, you would say, this group of people are bringing in many foreign people into our country that are like raping and killing our citizens. Okay, that is bad. Okay, but by framing it like this, they're like, well, who is it that's really doing it, right? Like, is it appropriate to say that it's these people doing it, right? Like, are they all bad? Like just like they're basically like scattering caltrops on the, you know what a caltrop is, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, right. It's scattering like spikes in the path, right? So even though it might be actually very simple, like, like 50 years ago, 60 years ago, it would be very, very simple to say like, holy shit, right? Like, we're being invaded, right? Like literally bringing over millions and millions and millions of people, right?
Oh, yes.
They scatter all of these like caltrops, like broken glass on the path. So you literally can't take one step without getting sidetracked by some other question. Oh, who's really
That's
doing
exactly
it?
right.
Right?
From a bird's eye view, from a mass communication point of view, all this is a jamming signal. That's all this is.
Yeah.
And when you understand it that way, one, it prevents cancer cells from forming in your brain. And it sort of disarms it, because unfortunately, the people around you who read these articles, the smart boys with laptop jobs and things like that, they read this stuff and they think, oh, I'm informed.
Yeah.
And you have to deal with them. So it's really like putting a zombie scent on you and being like, well, take care of that guy. And they don't have to worry about it.
I am reminded of that bit in the Screw Tape letters. I only just started reading it. I only got through the first couple of like chapters, right? And who's Screw Tape's like mentor, the guy who's like writing the letters. I forget his fucking name, right? And he's basically saying like, if the person that you're trying to like deceive, right? Because Screwtape and his mentor, they're demons, right? And they're trying to like lead Christians astray, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, if he starts thinking about the divine, right, just tell him instead to think about real life, right?
Yes.
Like, like this is real life, right? Like, don't think about like, look, you're caught up in all these conspiracy theories, right? You got to get back to real life, right? And he's using the example of like, the pavement under your feet and like the bus rushing by. But these are really just distractions from like a larger question. Now, of course, in the Screwtape letters, he's talking about people sort of realizing that divinity like exists, that God exists. But this is basically the same kind of like shit, right? As media, I kind of really like the voice that you're using. Can you keep reading in that cool newscaster voice you were doing?
Sure. As Media Matters researcher Talia Levin told Vox earlier this week, the narrative of white genocide, the destabilization and marginalization of white people in Europe, is historically inextricable from the conspiracy narrative of the Jew as puppet master. This figure is supposedly both secretly, insidiously in charge of the economic and political world order, and deeply committed ideologically to destabilizing ethnic and national identities.
So as media matters, right?
Yeah.
So like right, like and of course, as we covered right on episode 2, right? The chick that wrote this conspiracy pyramid works for fucking Media Matters, right?
Yeah.
Fuck me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, right, and look, if you're listening to this and you haven't checked out my Fistory series on the history of the moos in Europe, right? I do it because the idea that none of this is true is only supportable if you don't know crap about history, right? Or if you've only like modern history is so sanitized. Like you cannot understand European history without the moose. You just can't. It's like the hidden, I don't know, the hidden piece, or like it just because they've been in Europe for so long, and so many historical events like have been connected to them. Like there's just without including them, it's like, I don't know, it just none of it makes any sense. I'm not saying they're behind like literally everything or anything, but just they are like a force in Europe and America. And so, you know, their influence has to be accounted for if you want to make an honest accounting of history.
History doesn't make sense the more you read it without the missing pieces that they leave out.
Yes.
And this is one of the major cornerstones of it, because if you are interested in this or you want to have an understanding of the cultural history of European people or Europe as a whole altogether, you have to have the whole picture. But without the bits that they leave out, you know what it is? It's boring because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's like trying to like assemble a puzzle, and you're like missing like crucial pieces, and you can't see the picture in it. It's like, well, you know, Soros is an incredibly wealthy Moorish man who has made no secret of his liberal political affiliations. Yeah, he's also, I mean, the guy's like a freaking psycho. He's become a convenient symbol for anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, but he's far from the first one and unlikely to be the last. So are you saying he's far from the first like wealthy and connected Moo to like fund like highly destabilizing liberal causes, or is the idea that there's nothing wrong with him funding these highly destabilizing liberal causes, or are you arguing they're not destabilizing? I'm so confused, bros, right?
Jamming signal.
The conspiracy theories against Soros and the insidious idea of the Mooish puppet master more generally are part of a much broader rhetoric of hate. What does that word even mean anymore, mate? Like hate. Like it's become like racism or fascism, right? It's completely lifted off from any actual mooring in reality. It's just become this. I think isn't that like what the literal definition of a shibboleth is? Like when a word just sort of dematerializes and lifts off from any definitional surrounding.
Is that what it's called? I love that.
Wait, hang on.
I need to know.
I got to look this up now. Okay, hang on. By the way, listeners, if you ever want the definition of a word, I would highly recommend Wordnik, WORDNIK. You can put any word in this, and it'll give you like the results from 5 different dictionaries for an autist.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
I prefer dictionaries from like 1860, but you know that's just me.
A word or pronunciation that distinguishes people of one group or class from those of another. A word or phrase identified with a particular group or cause. A commonplace saying or idea. A custom or practice that betrays one as an outsider. Okay, so that's not what I thought at all.
What you're saying is that the word has become detached from the essence of what it's talking about.
Yes,
okay.
But that's not what a shibboleth seems to mean, at least in this definition. He's saying it's like jargon, a favorite saying of a sect or political group. I don't know, man. I mean, you could sort of define it as that in a sense, because like this whole, you know, hate thing is a favorite saying of a sect or political group, right?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, look below. Ultimately, from Hebrew, torrent of water from the use of this word to distinguish one tribe from another that pronounced it Sibboleth, not Shibboleth. Right?
Interesting.
So it's sort of like tomato, tomato. If you say tomato, I know where you're from. If you know what I mean?
With reference to Judges 12, 5-6, Gilead then cut Ephraim off from the fords of the Jordan, and whenever Ephraimite fugitives said, "Let me cross," the men of Gilead would ask, "Are you an Ephraimite?" If he said no, then he would say, "Very well, say Shibboleth." If anyone said Sibboleth, but could not pronounce it, they would then seize him and kill him by the fords of the Jordan.
Yeah, it's the
Interesting.
three symbol from Inglorious Bastards with the British guy.
Yeah. It's like what kind of American are you? I'm sorry, I love to be American. Coca-Cola, apple pie, and many burgers.
Okay, so for in some sense, hate is kind of like that. It's not a pronunciation thing. Like it's not about the sounds, but it means different things to different people, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like if you if you're in America and you meet one of those like "in this house we believe" kind of like people, you know what I mean, right? And you could actually, I guess, sort of make the argument that modern society is sort of littered with these shibboleths, right? Like it's not just one. It's like there are like a million different identities. It's like how you identify like the based people, right? Like you meet someone and you're not sure if they're like based or not. Apparently, like based is like over now. You're not allowed to use it anymore. You can fuck off with that, mate. Right? I'll say when it's fucking over. I didn't hear no fucking bell, right? Like,
it's code switching. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Stop trying to control my speech, bastards.
I didn't know based was out.
Well, someone texted me on Twitter and was like, "Oh, based is over." I'm like, "Well, you can fuck right off."
Ignore them.
You know, right?
Based is great.
Yeah. I guess it's UNC coded now.
Are you kidding? It only became okay. The UNCs came up with it and started using it, but it's the Zoomers who basically turned it into. Are they UNCs now? God damn, are we old?
We are, but like I'm cool with being like UNC. Honestly, right? There is wisdom in the UNC, right? You just be like, "Oh, you little Zoomers. You may have all the lingo for real, no cap, but I've got all of the wisdom. There's stuff that I know that you can't learn on your TikTokies and your Instagrammies."
See, this is why I'm lucky that I ended up with a Zoomer or a Zoomette because she translates for me all the time.
Oh, right. Okay. Right.
What do you think about one more? Can we do one more conspiracy?
Do one more? Well, yes. Yeah, we totally can.
Unless you wanted to continue. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. Well, I mean, we're still doing this one. I don't know, right? Like,
it's up to you.
I mean, it's just, I guess we are finding out why all of these conspiracy theories are past the antiseptic point of no return, because all of these articles link every single one of these back to Moodyism, right? And how like believing in any of these conspiracy theories is like antiseptic. And you're like, that's a bit of a broad brush. Like, I remember when I first came across this when I was I was just noodling around on Odyssey during the COVID lockdowns. That's how I started podcasting, right? And I came across this like article. Actually, I've got we should cover it, right? And they're like, don't say globalists, just say moos. And I'm like, excuse me? What the fuck are you talking? I didn't mention the moos. Like, and weirdly, it had completely the opposite effect, because then I was like, that's, it's like that Bart Simpson meme where you're like, what an odd thing to say.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Actually, I've been reminded of something also. So this whole thing about Soros being a puppet master and how that's some kind of a trope, that there's one mooish puppet master at the top of all things. Right. Did you ever run across Aaron of Lincoln in your History of Moos in England series?
Yes, but I haven't done the unpleasantness
Yeah.
Because it's very, very, very spicy. Like there is literally no more contentious subject in European history than the how do I put this delicately? The murder in certain ways of certain Gentiles under a certain age
I see.
by certain non-Gentile populations for possibly religious reasons that then resulted in certain other mass unpleasantnesses. Nailed it. Yeah.
Hang on. That's it. You just spoiled the top of the pyramid. How could you do this?
Did I?
Our listeners are going to leave us. I'm just kidding. No, but so I ran across, it's so weird that you did that series because I had just been researching it about a year earlier and I ran across that name and I was like, oh, that's my name. Wow.
Yes. You are Aaron of Wisconsin.
I think it might be better. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I think one of the funniest pictures I saw was it was just called the Moo's house.
Uh-huh.
And it was where he lived and they have a big sign on it and it just says Moo's house on it. Hilarious.
Yeah, they had stuff like that in Europe. Yeah. So okay. So like since the late 18th century and the political changes that followed the European Enlightenment, Moos have been treated as a scapegoat for populist anger, unfairly blamed for wider cultural anxieties about capitalism, industrialization, and an increasingly diverse and cosmopolitan excuse me.
Bless you.
And an increasingly diverse and cosmopolitan social landscape. Dude, they were like a big part of like doing that right now. Like you can argue whether that is a good or bad thing, right? But it is a lie to say that they had nothing to do with it, right? Like I'm sorry, right? That is just factually ahistoric, like incorrect, right?
Right. Well, that's what Artie calls positional, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly. If you're Mooish, right, and you're saying, oh, yeah, actually, we were responsible for how do they put it? For like, you know, for capitalization, industrialization, and the increasingly diverse and cosmopolitan social landscape, right? Then you'll get like applause, right? They'll be like, oh, yeah, it's so awesome, right? But if you say it, yeah.
Right. It depends if you like it or not. You know, that's the check.
Yes. So there's religious anti-Semitism based loosely on the idea that the Moos were allegedly responsible for the killing of Christ.
Loosely, allegedly.
Loosely. No.
Don't read the Bible. Don't ask questions.
It's not loosely or allegedly, right? It's very, very clearly stated in the. Mate, they must want to censor the Bible so fucking much. Can you imagine, right? It's like,
oh yeah,
2,000 fucking years they had to like deal with this shit. Someone put it in black and white, right? How are they going to burn every goddamn Bible? There's so many of them now, right? There was also straightforward racial animosity, which led to regular genocidal violence throughout medieval Europe. That's very badly framed. God.
Fluss and Frim. What is this? Like the Marx Brothers?
Fluss and Frim. Well, it's in the Jacobin, right? And the Jacobin is like English. So, how did it come to be? Oh, they were blamed for the French Revolution. Really? I was not aware of that. Okay, well, thanks for that. I'll
put this in my bookmarks.
My private collection.
What an odd thing to say.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay. Right. Okay. So fuck this. Okay. So right. So basically, right. If you criticize George Soros, but the thing is, right. There's another one specifically for George Soros. So Soros pops up like, and that isn't even the fucking New World Order, right? Like the New World Order.
No.
Back in the day, back in the Bush days and sort of before it was all about the Illuminati, right? And of course, this Masonic plot to take over the world. And it turned out it was just the Moos after all. That you didn't need any like highly complicated, highfalutin sort of like explanation involving like aliens and like biochips in your dick hole. It was just the Moos. It always was, right? Like, oh god.
You know what's crazy is how you and I could talk about this without realizing how deep of water this is for some people,
Yeah.
right? And I think when this was written, when all this was written, it was way worse. Like
Oh,
you had to
yeah.
go through some kind of a spiritual journey to arrive at this stuff, and now it seems like most of the planet appears to be catching up.
Yeah, the Goy beam really seems to have worn off. I got a theory on why this is, right? I mean, it's a little schizo, but
Hit
right,
me.
bear with me here. Okay. So I got a theory that the Goy beam is in fact powered by mass human sacrifice, right? And that the Goy beam effect that we see in the boomers, right, was essentially the result of a sort of demonic pact that was powered by the mass human sacrifice of World War II, right? And it was this sort of epochal release of sort of blood, right, that I don't know, empowered the entity that they then used to sort of like bewitch the minds of the West, right? But the thing is, right, this stuff doesn't last. Right, this is why, by the way, you don't make commerce with these kind of like beings, because they always like fuck you over, right? And they're always hungry, right? Like it never, and now, right? Like it's I don't know, it's wearing off all the things like hungry again. And this is what makes me very worried about like the prospect for war, because it would seem that if I am correct on this, then what they really need is another epochal act of human sacrifice to charge the beam up again.
Yeah. But like I understand why you would say that's like schizo. Because I think it is a somewhat I don't know, like it's a story device to explain what we're talking about. But just if you want to put it in like a boring ass like scientific term, like terminology or something like that, you could say that the trauma of that many people being removed from their homes and murdered in bloody wars over nothing has a pretty broad societal effect statistically,
No,
perhaps.
no, it's not a framing device. I'm dead fucking serious, right? Like it's not. It's not an allegory. It's not a framing device, right? It's literally like, look, clearly human sacrifice works, right? Like otherwise, why would people fucking keep doing it? Like it is a very old technology, I guess you'd call it. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like clearly that shit works. Why else would they like keep doing it? So
Well, then let me say then that I pretty much agree with that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You do?
Yeah.
Well,
oh, sorry.
no, I'm just saying we managed to get through 2 this time, mate. Like
That's pathetic. No. What am I talking about? I can't carry all this gold.
my slop cup runneth over.
For real.
You're gonna need an extra slop pack to
I'm not
carry
gonna-
all the slop.
I'm telling you, these get better and better. Like I think when we got to the red zone, that's when things got really funny and really interesting. I wonder why that is.
I wonder why that is, man. I mean, this is like crazy. Every single one is like a rabbit hole, and they all lead to the same fucking place. Now,
I know.
Now, there are many paths that man may take to find the moon.
Isn't it crazy?
You
You know what I described it like years ago when I was doing my history podcast?
Mm-hmm.
I said to my brother once, I said I felt like I was sticking. You know how like when a heavy snow falls, they put those reflectors in the snow to mark the edge of driveways and things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They do it all the time in Wisconsin. It's a
Right.
snow person thing,
Right.
but you do it before the snow so you can see where you can shovel, et cetera, et cetera. But I said I was like, I kept bumping my foot on something and I kept putting down reflectors in the snow, and eventually I found the shape of it, and it was the top of this pyramid.
Yes, exactly. And many people have had exactly the same shit. I have had exactly the same experience. Right? I mean, I was fucking. I was wondering about the fucking Illuminati like back in the fucking 90s, man. Like, the 80s and 90s, everyone was talking about like the Illuminati, and that was the birth of like, the deep state, right? And all this kind of like stuff. But see, back then, they just nuke anyone from orbit, right? Who dared to suggest that it might be like a certain like ethnic group of people. And now it's just become so fucking obvious that you just can't Like you just can't even like deny it at this point. Like it's just, and I think this is, you know, this was always going to end this way, really, because this is the thing about incrementalism when it comes to like revolutions, right? You talk about like the Fabians or like whatever. Sooner or later, right? There's only so much preparation you can do. You have to shit or get off the pot, right? You have to step out from the shadows. You have to like, you know, you have to do the thing, right? You have to announce. It's like, right, we're taking over, fucking right. Like that's it. And everyone's like, oh my God, I can't believe that it was like, you know, these people. It's like, yeah, well, fuck you, right? Now we've got control of everything. What are you going to do about it, motherfucker? Right? Like, yeah. So, you've already done like an hour and 15 minutes, mate. Should we wrap it up?
I don't know. I think we probably should before I start losing energy. I know it's late for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. All right, look. We will continue to mine this wall of slop, this great wall of slop that we have been blessed with, right? I mean, and we've got so many other like great things to look forward to. Secret satanic rituals, cultural Marxism. Shit, we could do a whole fucking episode just on cultural Marxism. Like I could probably do a whole series on cultural Marxism at this point, right?
Well, I was actually going to say when we get to cultural Marxism, I'm just going to mute and sit. And you can just talk. Because you're an aficionado on that one.
We aficionado.
Aficionado. Is that a flavor of Hot Pocket? Can I put that in my freezer?
We've got the protocols of Zion. Oh my God. The Illuminati, the Rothschilds, adrenochrome, reptilian overlords, Bill Gates, depopulation shit. We could do a whole episode just on.
You know what? Here's a funny one. So if you look at all of these, we can go, oh, that's real. That's real. That's real. There's something there. There's something there. And then just in the middle of that, there's a big coin that says flat Earth.
Yeah. Well, they just slip that in there, right, to make like all the rest of it look retarded. You know, right? Like, and I presume that's also why they've got Hollow Earth and Nazis on the moon in there. Because I don't understand, right? Like, how is Nazis on the moon antiseptic? Like, is the assertion, right, that like one day, right, space Hitler will come back? And like, well, that's in his mustache shaped spaceship, and like what? Like I don't remember that one. It was just an ad for Iron Sky. Like,
well, all I'll say is like obviously the Nazis in space thing is ridiculous because we know that they're in Antarctica. So
Agartha, right? But of course, Antarctica leads to Agartha. The entrance to Agartha is in Antarctica. Wasn't that part of like the Hollow Earth thing as well? What was that? General Bird, or that guy who allegedly flew over Antarctica, and there was like a huge fucking hole there, and he like flew down into the world hole. But he flew up the world hole, right up the world's hole, right? And inside, it's very much like Bull Willitten, right? Like, you know, inside like the Hollow Earth, there's like, you know, fairies and magic and white monster and mate. I love that idea. It's like the Hollow Earth. Like, yeah, that's right. And there's like another sun inside the Earth, and yeah. All right, listen, let's wrap it up. I'm starting to fade. So let's. You have been listening to Clown-based Life Forms. It's a pretty cool name. I'm quite happy with that. May contain trace amounts of clown. If you are allergic to clown, well, you've already consumed it, so like tough shit.
You have to get on our Patreon for the cure.
Yeah. Make sure you got your EpiPen handy, right? You'll probably start exhibiting symptoms shortly, right? I have been Newsfist. My co-host has been Aaron. Check out his show, Clown Town Chronicle. It is a lovely pile of slop. Very, 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 very tasty. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, we'll have like a nice snazzy intro as well. Yeah. So yeah, and we'll go on. Look, we're just gonna ride this puppy into the sunset as far as it goes. Who knows where it will take us? The conspiracy pyramid.
Well, that all sounds mighty highfalutin, but I got to get back to my slop mines.
He's got a hot pocket waiting for him, ladies and gentlemen. Right, like, you know. your waifu is like there with a hot pocket in each hand.
I'm just starving, just smelling the pepperoni. Please.
Man, I could go some pepperoni right now. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. We will see you next week. Good night.
We're gonna clown around. Clown-based life.